Well, hi Pisces. Welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It's time for reading. I have shuffled these cards very well. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be the center card in the first part of the reading. So if you feel compelled, please like and subscribe. And here we go. For Pisces universe, what do they need to know? What's coming up in Pisces life? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. What's coming up for our Pisces people? Whoa, I can just, that one. Pisces. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Kind of got quite a few. Pisces. This is one of the cards for Pisces just because there's a fish in the cup. Okay. So we have a few cards left over for the second part of the reading. So Pisces, the overall energy of this reading is the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is kind of an immature energy. It's a love offer, but it's kind of tainted. It has a fish in it. So the fish takes up half the room of that in that cup, so it can only hold like half a cup of love. So it's like a half-hearted love offer. We'll put it that way. So the Page of Cups surrounds your entire reading. Let's find out why. Up here in your highest energy is the Justice card, the card for Libra. Libra might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But this is about taking control of yourself, taking control of your life, putting your sword up in self-defense, getting your skills in life rebalanced. And it's like self-justice. So you're strong, you're getting yourself back, and you're very much aware, and you're like, you're kind of against that Page of Cups. You're like, no more Page of Cups for me, thank you. I've had enough of those. So you are on the lookout for those Page of Cups. I have the Page of Wands right next to the Justice card, and right above the Page of Cups. The Page of Wands is about something brewing from the bottom of your feet, and it comes out your mouth. You're holding on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings, so it has to do with moving forward in your life. So I feel like you've had to speak up. You've had to say something to someone who is in your life that was only giving you half a cup of love, and you want the whole cup. So I feel like you had to, it was brewing for a while, and then you had to come out and say something about how you needed to move forward, that it just wasn't working for you any longer. It just wasn't cutting it. So, next to the Page of Wands is the Four of Swords. Yeah, it didn't come easy for you to do this. You gave it a lot of thought. You did a lot of soul searching with the Four of Swords. You've meditated, you've prayed for direction, you've done a lot of soul searching, like for truth and clarity, to come to you about this relationship on what you should do, because you knew that this was not feeling right to you. Very spiritual card here. There's a lot of healing involved with the Four of Swords. So you are going through healing after this conversation, and it's very healing to have truth and clarity. Very healing to actually figure out what it is that is wrong with a relationship. And it looks like that's kind of where you put your mind, and then you had to say something. I have the Ten of Swords right below the Justice card, right next to the Page of Cups. So it is the end. This is the card I call the end, because all those swords, 10 of them, it's really put an end to all the troubles, all the pain, everything that you've been going through. As the Justice card, you just put an end to it. You spoke up. You put an end to this half-hearted love offer. So here they are, fading off in the background. We got the Five of Swords. You picked up your swords of truth and clarity. There's still a couple down there, but you picked up enough through the Four of Swords, and in order to let them go, in order to speak up, and I think you're just, hasta la vista. You've got better fish, bigger fish to fry, I'm going to say. But, you're looking back at them, you have your truth and clarity, And it does look like they had some kind of energy attached to them, is why they couldn't offer a full cup of love. So that could be a person, that could be an addiction, it could be just an interest of sorts, but whatever it is leaving with them. So under the Ten of Swords, which is the end, it's the end of the confusion, the stress, the anxiety that kept going through your mind about this relationship over and over. And so you needed to put an end to this too. That was just too much to handle in this relationship. So I have the Magician right next to the Five of Wands here, right below the Page of Cups. And the Magician, there's the infinity symbol. That's the symbol of intuition and knowing. So I think what it is you figured out through all this anxiety that, hey, wait a minute, you got all the tools to get what it is that you want from life. You can manifest whatever it is that you want, and this isn't it. That's what, and so you use your powers, you use your tools to move forward. It was not an easy decision. I have the Nine of Swords. You really dealt with this, like, oh gosh, do I really need to move forward? Oh, you can just see that in this Nine of Swords. So this is like every waking moment that's quiet. These thoughts start to creep in. They go through your mind and over the same thoughts. And you just knew that you had to. This is what was brewing. And it had to come out your mouth in order to make a change in your life. So you do what you have to do to make these changes in your life that you know you need to make. Let's take out the second part of this reading. We need a few more cards, please, for Pisces. Pisces, please. What else do they need to know? Whoa, that flipped over. What else do they need to know right there? All right, let's see what we have. I think we got more than what we need. 3 more than what we need. Here we go. Okay, so we have the King of Wands right up next to the Four of Swords. All that soul searching, meditation or prayer, seeking truth and clarity, healing. Well, the King of Wands, all cards are male or female, by the way. This is fire. So Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But this is your energy. You're now holding on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings, like you were with the Page of Wands. So here you are, and you have your hand on your hip, and you're ready to move forward now in this reading. I have the Eight of Swords next to the King of Wands. The Eight of Swords is a card of illusion. It's feeling trapped by not knowing truth and clarity. Look at all the swords of truth and clarity. You're blindfolded there. You can't even see them. But this is more or less by choice, because the feet aren't bound, the mouth isn't bound, and it's almost like you just did not really want to deal with it until you did, until it just brewed so long you just had to deal with it. I have the Seven of Wands next to the Eight of Swords. I think other people might have been saying something to you about, hey, you're not happy, why don't you move on? Or, maybe these are always people who love and care about you. These wands coming up right here. Or it's the person trying to come back in, okay? But you're blocking them. It's like, no, I'll make up my own mind. I'll do it in my own time. And that's kind of what you were doing. You're like, well, I'm not ready. I don't want to deal with it yet. I don't want to deal with it yet. But then, as your timing comes around, you get ready and you do deal with it. I have Temperance right under the King of Wands and next to the Five of Swords. Now, Temperance is the card for Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign right under the King of Wands. But, Temperance's job here, your guardian angels and spirit guides, is a mixes potion back and forth, back and forth. And their job is to temper you, to help you be tempered. So they're trying to help you get one foot out of those waters of emotion and put it on the ground with the other foot so you can be grounded, okay? And they're also trying to help you be patient and balanced. So in order to move forward, there's a reason for that. I think you were patient, very patient. And you got rebalanced right here. So they're absolutely doing their job. You do decide to walk away from this. This is what I was talking about right here. You had to turn your back on this relationship so that you could find, what it is that you want from life, to manifest what it is you want out of life, because this wasn't cutting it. And I have the Tower right next to the Eight of Cups. And this is under the Seven of Wands. So the Tower card is the blow up, it's the breakup, it's the destruction of this relationship by walking away from it. And you blocked it. You're like, you can't deal with it anymore. Then I have the Two of Cups under Temperance and right next to the Nine of Swords. This is a soulmate card. This is friends with love. Well, let me look around. You have a best friend. There's somebody out there that you are best friends with. There is a really strong connection. This is under Temperance. I think this is your new person. I think you already know this person. I don't think you know that they're going to turn out to be a lover too. I really think they're going to. Because it's under Temperance. There's always a reason for Temperance to be helping you to be grounded and stable and just kind of, balanced. This Two of Cups is right next to the High Priestess. The High Priestess, this is the card in the tarot deck for intuition and knowing. It's like pulling back that pomegranate curtain and paying attention to what yourself is telling you. Do it. Pay attention, because your intuitions are running very high. Remember the Magician here? You got the infinity symbol, which is intuition and knowing that you can manifest just what it is that you want from life. Well, keep following your intuition, because that is your guidance. That is like showing you, telling you, and kind of whispering in your ear and stuff on what you need to do for you. So walking away from this situation, even though it causes a Tower moment. And I think you know that you have a friend. It feels like you have a friend that helps you through this, which could be of the same sex or opposite. Doesn't really matter. But whoever I'm talking about will end up being a lover. And because I have the Six of Wands right next to the High Priestess and under the Tower card, and this is what you're actually creating. You are creating a partnership here with someone, with love, that everybody's going to end up seeing you as a couple. You could end up engaged with this person, really committed and really grounded with this person. I wonder who it is. And I think it feels like you might already know them. If you don't already know them, you will first become friends. So you are soulmates. So you've known each other in other lifetimes. That's the connection that's going to take place. But if you haven't known them, you're going to meet them. If you do know them, you're going to end up in a very, very strong, committed relationship here. Then I had these three other cards that came out. The Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. So, you came to your wit's end here. That's the Nine of Wands with this past relationship, the Page of Cups. You came to your wit's end. You spoke up. You said something about it. That allowed you to put the burden down, okay? So, the Ten of Wands is no... So, this is actually dropping wands, putting the burden down, letting it go. And it's also, you could move towards a new life cycle for your better. This is the universe that's turning. The wheel is turning, and it's moving you forward. So with your intuition, is part of that is the universe letting you know what you need to do in order to move forward in life. And I think that this soulmate right here, the Two of Cups, I think they're very much involved in your future. And so you are leaving all this behind, and you're moving towards a much better life. Wheel of Fortune, for the better. That's wonderful. Okay, I'm taking out a angel card, one flipped over. That's the one for you. I'm taking out an angel card for you. This is to see what your guardian angels and spirit guides want you to know. It may not have to do with this reading, but let's find out what it is. It's called the Ten of Abundance. So you can pause and read this, but I am going to read it to you. The Ten of Abundance. Heaven has provided so many blessings, Your family members are bonded and working together. The children are provided for and comfortable. Retirement will be one day. Come along. You've taught your family the grace that comes from knowing right from wrong, and you should be very proud. Wow. If you've got a family, if you've got children around you, you're doing an awesome job with them. Now, let's take out a card of the Law of Attraction. This is from Abraham, the group of entities that Esther Hicks channels through her. They're from the universe. Let's see what they have to say. What kind of advice they have for you. Okay. We're going to cut these the same way. For Pisces, that one. For Pisces. I see myself enjoying perfect well-being. Wow, I knew you were moving into a wheel of fortune to a great place. Now, I'm going to read this card to you. You can pause and read it anytime you want, but I am reading it to you. I see myself in perfect health, with absolute prosperity and invigorated with life. I am appreciating this physical life that I wanted as I decided to be a physical being. It is glorious to be here making decisions with a physical brain, but assessing the power of the universe through the power of the law of attraction. So this tells me you're really enjoying your life. You're getting to this point. The Wheel of Fortune is moving you to a much better place in your life, and you are really going to enjoy it. Really good things on the horizon for you. So, Pisces, this is your reading. Thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot.